Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Dudes versus Everything. As always, we are your hosts, the monkeys in the club. I am Jesus Perez, and this is
Rudy Robles
with his fantastic titties.
Yep.
If you are watching this on YouTube or the video versions, if we might clip this anywhere else, so he has a green screen of titties.
We now have money.
Yeah,
we now can afford a $2 green screen.
It's green. It's a green fabric. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode.
Welcome back.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. Clink. I don't know why I made the clink sound. This is not bad. Last time, I'm just gonna jump right into it. I'm drinking Cutwater again, the brand, but this time I'm drinking so last time I had what's called a tequila soda. This time it is tequila margarita. Wow. And last time it was 7%. This time it's 12.5%.
That's really high for those. Dude, I can't get over the fact that I got titties in the fucking background. But yeah, that's higher than a Four Loko, dude. And in each can. Mm-hmm. And you're drinking.
I'm drinking 4. I'm fucked. Like, well, I'm like, look. If you guys are watching the video,
is it 16 ounces?
I'm drinking.
No, it's 16%.
It's a
12%.
16%.
12.5% per can.
Yeah, 12.5.
Fucking hell.
I poured the 4 cans straight into my Size Fucking Matters gigantic jug, and it's gonna be fucking lit. Just like these titties.
Yes, just like these titties.
They're very voluptuous.
I don't think we've ever actually talked about this, but are you an ass man or a tit man?
I'm pretty sure we've talked about this at least one time.
I don't know if we have.
Well, I feel like with all the butthole, like what do you call it, jokes. And
there we go, talking about buttholes now
and everything. It's already. We're not even. How long has it been already?
It has been 3 minutes.
Butthole number 1. Well, technically that's number 2. Get it?
Yeah.
Number 2.
Jesus likes to eat shit.
To answer your question, I am a very butt-sided man, like ass man. I'm an ass man. I prefer the ass over the titties. I mean, I appreciate titties. I love tits, but I very much would prefer the ass. How about you?
I praise the titties.
You praise them.
I pray to the titties.
You pray
every morning, 5 times a day, religiously.
Yeah, like fucking.
If you're watching the video version of this, as you can see, I adore titties. I more than appreciate them. I admire them. Respectfully.
Where's it even from?
I don't know, but I love titties, man. Yeah. I'm a tit man. I don't know. Yeah.
That has nothing to do with today's topic, unfortunately. Maybe we'll get to that. Maybe we'll get to that in one episode or something. We're in the Dudes versus Everything, fucking autism awareness, LGBTQ, rainbow, fucking Microsoft Paint shirt.
Microsoft Paint shirt.
Yeah.
Is a great design. Yeah. Designed by me.
Yeah. In less than 5 minutes.
Yeah. I said
goes to show what an autistic, ADHD, nicotine addicted monkey can come up with.
Yeah. Rope swinging monkey.
Rope swinging. Yeah. Of course.
By the way, since Jesus already said what he's drinking, I am. Where the fuck's my camera? I am. Everything's inverted. I am drinking.
Titties.
Michelob Ultra. Honestly, I
can't take you seriously.
Because of the titties?
No, because like I feel like you're gonna go into this Michelob Ultra, Drink the finest fucking beer. It doesn't even. It's American. I don't know why I fucking came up with that.
All right,
accent.
so look, I have nothing but nice things to say about
It's American
Michelob.
alcoholic water.
I have nothing but nice things to say about Michelob because you know what?
Because you're hoping that
They are trying.
You're hoping that Michelob hears this somehow, and they're like, "Oh, let's fucking throw him a 6-pack for free."
I mean, if he can throw a fucking like 200 pack, that'd be great. But, anyways, no, fucking Michelob Ultra. You know what? I see you. I see what you're doing. 95 calories per fucking bottle. Like, bro, that's less than a fucking White Claw, and White Claws are considered
By 5 calories.
Yeah, by 5 calories. But
White
still,
Claws
like,
also don't have any fucking sugar or carbs.
yeah, well, you know what? If you like carbs, this only has 2.6.
Wow.
Carbs. Yeah, wow. Add that extra flavor and that shit.
You want to be a superior but masculine man while also watching his diet and enjoying a nice, refreshing beer.
It actually says superior light beer.
You want to get yourself a superior light beer. Michelob Ultra is your fucking beer to go.
And it's cheap too. It's really cheap. It's good. It's affordable. It's great. Yeah, go ahead and pick yourself up a Michelob Ultra.
You know what? All these fucking like drink of the weeks kind of shit. Like, we're fucking advertising all these fucking like drinks and like for free.
Yeah.
For free.
Where's our paycheck? Run it. I mean, I don't know if
It's
like
okay.
a
I mean,
company
that-
wants
that-
to like sponsor someone who has literally like,
Well, if they don't, that just means they're against titties and against women.
that is true.
Yeah. What do
If you
have?
are against tits, you are against women. And if you're against women, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah, they're literally half.
I literally love when women.
I love when women too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally the other half.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 50% of the. Actually, I think there's like
Yeah.
like a point something fucking different. But whatever
But
the
still.
fuck, it's fucking 50% of fucking
Yeah.
male and females.
Yeah. How down bad are you today?
Today
On a
specific-
scale of 1 to 10.
what is 1?
Like 1 is like you are a Buddhist monk who does not
Okay,
even
so
perceive.
like 1 is like the very low. Okay, in that perspective, then
And 10 is like.
like
that
my
type.
horniness is so strong that it levitates me.
Yeah.
At the side of an ass.
Yes.
So that would be
No,
10.
at the thought.
At the thought of, so that would
At
be
the
a
thought of thinking of the thought.
10. Okay, so that would be a 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Today, today I wasn't in a generally good mood today. So,
Nice.
no, I wanted to be in a good mood. So in that perspective, to answer your question, I think I was in the morning. It started off like an 8, like when I woke up. Side effects to a certain pill.
Yeah.
And yeah, and throughout the day, I got fucking bamboozled or fucking bombarded by fucking work, and then just like I got a migraine, and then I was just like I'm not even horny. Like I don't want to be horny. Like even if I did get horny, I don't want to be horny. Like I just
want
I want to hear like I would rather hear my supervisor tell me like I'm proud of you. I haven't heard that yet. Actually, you know what? I heard it at the end of my day today, by our commander. But that's whatever. But at the end of the day, I was kind of hoping I'm like in the middle of it. Like let me know how I'm doing. What about you? On a scale of 1 to 10,
How
today?
down bad was
Yeah,
I?
because today, your girlfriend's gone. She's back home in Utah, Ohio, fucking
Utah.
Wisconsin.
Utah.
And so, you're obviously now dealing with another long-term relationship again.
Mm-hmm.
How's that for you?
I'm at a
honestly,
constant 10. Always. Literally. The moment I wake up. Like, if you need to ask, like, literally, like, my dick right now is just... That's how it is right now. For those of you who are not watching, I literally whip my dick out right now. I'll do it again. That's how it is.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Loud noises.
Nah, but no. In all seriousness, nah. Honestly, feel like I'm enlightened.
You feel like you're enlightened?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm happy. I feel like I'm in a pretty great relationship right now. I feel like work is always going to be work, but you know what? It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. So, I feel like today I was at like a 3.
Yeah.
Just a constant 3 the whole day for my
Like
down badness.
Down bad. I feel like that's a neutral. I feel like a 3 on a down badness is a normal neutral 5 for a guy.
Yeah.
It's like normal operating dude brain is like anything can trigger the horniness at any given moment.
Yeah.
For at least with a guy with a quote unquote normal libido range, and with like normal levels of testosterone, not abnormal. But that's getting off topic. But I meant to say, like, a dude with a strong sex drive is always like just a whisper away from horny. Like,
Yes.
like literally.
That is true.
Like, I'm back up to a number 8 right now. It's
Yeah?
just fucking like I'm just talking about this bullshit. Like, like it is my drive right now. Like lately, well, not lately. I guess 2021 has like fed my fucking drive.
Mm-hmm.
Like the aura of the Earth and the alignment of the solar system's testicles. With the rising sun of vaginas and the moons, it adds to the fucking energy to my astrology.
All right, so today our main topic, right, is,
I have no idea what the fuck I just said. No. What are we talking about today? Or I should say, what are you talking about today?
All right, so today I'm talking about dreams.
Dreams.
By the way, I'm drunk.
We started today's episode half and half. Like, what's that? Arnold Palmer. Yeah, there you go. You're the fucking, you're the spiked version of the drink, and I'm like the fucking, I'm like the dark Coke coming in that sizzles in, and then it blends at the end, because like, as of right now, like I'm catching a buzz. Like, I barely even drank any, but I'm already like slowly, I'm catching up to you. But you're there, so we're like an Arnold Palmer, an Arnold Palmer kind of thing, if you know what I'm talking about. But what about dreams?
All right, so I brought a whole fucking script. So this is serious mode. Take the titties off. Take them titties off.
The titties are not coming out.
All right, fine, fuck it. I don't
have the mask. What about dreams?
So, dreams.
No, but like, what about them?
I'm about to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
I'm about to talk about it.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. Dreams. They're a convoluted structure of what our forebrain likes to emotionally create while leaving any and all logic to the pits of non-existence. They are pre-made silver screen replicas of our own bizarre world. And while our brain is complex enough to create them, it doesn't know how to actually handle them at times.
Okay.
Dreams, according to some, are a way of our mind comforting you and winding you down from a long day of emotional wear. Another thing that the brain is actually good at doing is hyperactively trigger your amygdala, which is what is in charge of your fight or flight response. And it could be a way of your brain constantly training you to take on threats from your everyday life. One of the things that I'm actually interested about is the setting in dreams.
The settings of dreams?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of the time, you don't actually quite remember how you got somewhere in a dream. It's as if you were always there.
Right.
A calming yet sometimes eerie feeling, especially when the settings are liminal spaces. Now, in anthropology, liminality, from the Latin word limen, meaning a threshold. Limen.
Lemon.
Limen.
Lemon.
Yeah. It's meaning a threshold.
Mm.
Is the quality of ambiguity and disorientation that occurs in the middle stage of a rite of passage, when participants no longer hold their pre-ritual status, but have not yet begun the transition to the status that they will hold when the rite is complete. During a rite's liminal stage, participants stand at the threshold between their previous way and structuring their identity, time, or community, and a new way which is completing the rite establishes. In layman's terms, liminality is when you've gone beyond but aren't at the destination. And you aren't there at the beyond in a transcendental type state.
Right.
And I wrote that whole fucking thing. And
it sounded like a little, like, it started off, I was like, I don't know where this is gonna go. The first, like, maybe sentence, I don't know, I couldn't tell when the sentences started to end and transition. But at first I was like, are you gonna, like, mermaid me?
Mermaid?
Yeah, serenade. That's
Serenade.
the word. That's the fucking
What the fuck does mermaid do? Serious time.
No, but I thought it was gonna be like a poem at first, because the way you were just saying it, it was nice. You wrote that.
Yeah.
No copy and paste.
No. So there was like the little definition of what liminality was for
yeah,
like.
So you,
but
you took it.
Other than that, everything else, I fucking wrote that.
Took
But anyways.
yeah. Can you do? Just just tweak my gain just a tiny, like an inch, not an inch. Sorry, fucking like a micro penis inch. Just like, did you even touch it?
Which way are you going? Up
like
or down?
this way. Yeah, right there.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, anyways, going back to that. So I was really interested in liminality and the whole like transcendence type shit. Pretty much going into it, because when we're dreaming, we don't actually like fully understand where we are or who the people that are around us like actually
Usually.
are. Yeah, usually. Like, we can recognize faces, we can understand that, oh, like, that's someone that I know. But the forebrain, which is pretty much in charge of the whole emotional part of your actual like thought process, is not really using its logical processes, which is part of the
Are you
rest of the
talking
fucking
about like
brain.
the frontal lobe?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was like with the forebrain.
So when you dream, the only time you can actually dream is when you're during, or when you're in a REM cycle, which is a rapid eye movement cycle, which actually locks your body into place and doesn't allow you to move.
Fucking locked up in paralysis, bitch.
Yeah, you're pretty much like paralyzed, but that's a safety mechanism to not cause you to act out your dreams. So if you're like fighting in your dream, you're not fucking like fist fucking like people that you're sleeping with or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, there's certain chemicals released throughout your brain and throughout, obviously throughout your fucking body that, allow you or not allow you to move. Because imagine, like, I've had dreams where like I'm running and like where I'm like fist fighting and or a bunch of fucking other things. And imagine if you literally act it out. And I mean, if you do, like, it becomes obviously a disorder, or you have this disorder, which is like, you know, sleepwalking, or and there's different versions of it, and that's what that becomes. But that's pretty fun, you know. Yeah, the brain is the human body is crazy.
Yeah, I saw a quote today that.
You saw a girl today?
A quote.
Oh, a quote.
Yeah,
okay.
I saw many girls yesterday. Yes, but no, I saw a quote today that said, if the human mind was simple enough for us to actually fully understand it, then we, having said simple mind, would not be able to fully comprehend it. And it sounds confusing.
Kind of like an inception of the thought of itself. Therefore, it doesn't exist, because if it existed, kind of like the time travel thing.
Yeah,
like if it
literally,
was,
like the mind right now is talking about the
like,
mind.
Like the brain named itself, kind of thing.
Brain
like
named
you,
itself.
like if it was, it's fucking crazy. Like
Yeah.
the thing in me, in my head, in your head, in everyone's head, knows what to do, knows itself, has gone through evolution and thousands and upon thousands of years of, you know, upgrades, and yet it doesn't know itself. I don't know. It's kind of crazy to like think, you know. It's kind of there's a word for it. I can't fucking figure it out, but it's like it's a self-made problem kind of thing.
I mean, the human mind is very complex. It's we still, to this day, have not fully unlocked every single, like, complexity, every single, like, thing that's going on within the mind. I mean, it's so insane what our human minds are actually capable of. I mean, think about it, like, when you're sleeping, you're literally creating these settings. You're creating this whole like scenario. You're creating all of this, and it's just during dreams.
Yeah, I wouldn't say creating, because the brain can't create things it hasn't experienced or seen.
Yeah,
which is also kind of crazy. And it's like I guess it'll be a side topic, or I'll just fucking plug it in right now. How the brain, not knowing things, can experience or create things in its sleep, right? And that goes into imagination. Where the fuck do all these, like let's go back to the 50s, the 40s, the 30s, like the 60s, where all these, like, artists and directors came up with fucking aliens, robots, fucking, you know, like, you can't just come up with that.
Yeah, fucking, so...
I mean, you can, but you can't.
So that actually goes to what I was going to talk about, liminal spaces. So liminal spaces, if you look it up,
spell that?
Liminal, liminal, or liminality. So it's pretty crazy. So you say how we can't create all these settings and all these things in our mind, and that is true. There was actually this whole, like, different studies where, like, these dreams, it's just nothing but pretty much images and pictures and all these things that are going on throughout your daily lives that you just recreate at the end of the day. And in a psychology setting, dreams are supposed to be a comforting type of situation where your dreams just wind you down, and they just take everything that's happened throughout the day and just pretty much put you in a setting that's supposed to break what happened within your day or even your week, and just pretty much like a debrief of what happened.
Your brain's way of trying to process things.
Yeah.
It's coming up with a fucking story of how the fuck it, you know, it's like putting your brain is, you're paraphrasing what you just experienced.
Yeah. Now, with these liminal spaces, with these places that you can't fully comprehend or understand, where, say, for example, you're in a in a maze type situation of just white walls and the floor is just full of water, how can you fully actually like comprehend or describe that? You've never actually been in a situation where you've been in a maze and the water is just rising to your knees and you don't know what's beyond said maze, and you're in this maze and you're just running for your life from something that you don't even know about. So how can you describe that situation when you've never actually been there in real life?
Describe how you feel, or describe the actual place?
The place.
Because I feel like you can describe a maze. You can describe that there's water there.
Yeah, but you were saying how like everything that you see in your dreams, you've seen in real life. But I don't ever recall being in.
But no,
that
so
setting.
you, okay, exactly. And what I meant by, okay, you, obviously there are scenarios in their brain, because I am prone to having, I have nightmares. That's the thing that I have. I have nightmares. Obviously, I've never witnessed an alien invasion, or obviously I've never, like in real life killed someone, or, things like that. Mm-hmm. I didn't mean it literally where your brain cannot, your brain, like I said, it paraphrases your experiences and things that you have seen and the things that you know of. So, for example, the maze and the water. When you were describing that, I couldn't help but to like literally go back to that one Harry Potter movie where they were going through the maze, and at the end of it, or at the beginning of the maze, there was a whole like ocean or like a lake. And in that lake, there was a bunch of like fucking like ghosts or fucking whatever the spirits. I'm fucking up the Harry Potter shit. But there's like,
there's a lot of Harry Potter fans. They're about to be pissed.
Yeah,
at
but
you.
there's a fucking maze, but there's also water, and people have to go through these tests. And do you know what I'm talking about? You've seen the fucking Harry Potter movies, right?
I'm a diehard Harry Potter.
Do you know the
fan,
fucking the scene that I'm talking about?
So
the fucking scene of the maze.
I know,
and the scene of the water.
Yeah,
okay. As long
I know
as
what you're talking about,
obviously.
but
Okay, so
you're mixing up scenes.
No, I'm not. That's all
yes,
part of the
you
same
are.
movie.
It's part of the same movie.
That's
but
all
it's
I'm saying.
different
Thank you.
scenes.
That's all. That's not. You just think. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they're literally seen by. The scenes are connected, but. Yeah, that's the point. Like we've people that have watched that movie, hearing you just now explain, like, yeah, I've seen mazes, I've seen movies where there is a maze, I've seen pictures of mazes, I've seen the maze in the dictionary, and I've seen the Titanic where the fucking floors are flooding, the place is flooding. So now my brain knows, this is, I like last night I saw the movie Crawl, and it had to do with a tsunami and alligators. I know what a flooding would look like, and then I also know what a maze would look like depicted through a movie, and my brain now paraphrases all these images into a story of whatever the fuck my subconscious is trying to tell me. Like, you're fucking, you like a maze. I guess maybe something a psychologist would try to tell me is like, you don't know where you're going in life, and then the water rising, it's like you feel like there's too much that you're dealing with, so you're drowning in your work. And holy shit, if you've ever had a nightmare with a maze and water, I just fucking solved it for you. There you go. That's what it fucking means.
Yeah. So upon my research, there was a lot of like people trying to decode dreams, and a very common dream is like where your teeth are falling out. I've had so many of those.
Really?
Yeah. Where teeth.
I don't know if that's a common, like for you.
That's actually a common dream amongst a lot of
people.
Yeah.
Teeth falling out.
Where like your teeth are falling out, and that's like, it's supposed to mean where you're like not sure about. I can't remember.
Is it a phobia?
No, it's just a dream that people have.
But it must, if it's so common, it has to, like how you say, it's one of the most common dreams that people fear of or have and then experience fear in. And that has to be rooted in some sort of like fear.
So it's not really a fear. There's a couple of like, I'm gonna call them dream decoders. But there's a lot of these dream decoders,
Dreamonologists.
yeah, where they try to like decode all these dreams and try and make it like a different meaning. And I mean, it goes back to like a long time ago, where like, oh, if you dream about like a certain thing, that's because the gods are trying to like implement this message into you, and that it even goes to biblical times where,
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean, some people still believe that
yeah,
they're being spoken to through via their dreams.
yeah, and to this day, it's still happening. Where like, if you dream about a certain thing, oh, that's because you're actually having like a certain thing shown to you by the gods or whatever, and all this and all that. And in reality, science is decoded where dreams are just dreams. They're just images and different things that you've already seen, or things that your imagination has created. And no one can ever actually fully comprehend what the brain is capable of, because the brain is so complex.
Yeah,
like the brain, it's insane. Like
it really is.
The brain is able to create everything that you see before you right now. The brain created this table. The brain created fucking Wi-Fi. It created fucking Bluetooth. It created fucking like all this shit that we have with us today. It created fucking cars. I can't even fucking explain what Wi-Fi is to you right now. It's insane.
No, like, yeah, 100%. Like you want to know how to if you are a person with anxiety or fucking panic attacks or some fucking like disorder, where if you get into a thought and you don't know what it is, like, dude, I've dived into like a fucking like anxiety attack, where like literally about Wi-Fi. I'm like, dude, there's fucking data all around me. Like, I'll take my phone to the shitter, or I'm in the kitchen, I'm in the bedroom. The fucking video that I'm watching it's literally in the, like, the internet is in the fucking air.
Yeah,
like you are like, but it's radiation. That's what it is. Radiation.
It's insane.
Like, but the brain create, like, hey, we turn metal elements into Wi-Fi. Like, you can access the world through air.
Like,
what? What?
It still to this day doesn't make sense to me how we went from fucking like smacking rocks to make fucking fire to like, oh hey, we created fucking Wi-Fi. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, how did we go to that? How did we create this? How did one day some random fucking dude was like,
you know, I'm gonna put these fucking metal pieces together, and it's called the computer.
you know what? I'm tired of this fucking mail lettering fucking bullshit. You know, fucking Wi-Fi. Like, how the fuck what the fuck?
Hey, fucking Jerry, I know the USPS has been around for fucking forever, but, you know, fucking call me the next fucking Einstein, because you know what I just created? I just created electronic email, or sorry, electronic mail, and I'm gonna call it email for short, and you will be able to access your mail through anywhere in the world. Why the fuck? I don't know why I have these accents.
How does fucking storage in a fucking like,
dude? It's
like,
it's a piece of metal. Like, metal.
Like, I know that it's literally like ones and zeros and shit, and like electricity and shit, but like it's so complex, and like the fact that a fucking human brain was able to fucking like think of this one day and was like, fuck,
and
I'm just gonna
make this. The brain, like, everyone has that modern brain that has the same potential to come up with that.
Yeah, like
everyone,
it's fucking insane.
Yeah. And fuck, it had a you were saying some shit like backtracking, and I wanted to fucking comment on it. Fuck, dude. What the fuck did you say? Like maybe 6.3 seconds, minutes, 5 seconds ago.
The brain.
Before that.
The baby.
In there.
Let's go.
Oh. What? No, fuck, dude. Like it. It just.
I keep looking at the fucking screen and there's titties.
Okay. If you guys have been listening from like the very first episode, you guys have probably seen a huge improvement in the quality of
Improvement.
Fuck you. You probably seen a good improvement in the quality of the episodes. It's just that today might not be, the video version. The audio is great. If you're listening to, the regular podcast platforms, you're probably like, oh yeah, this is, I don't know what they're talking about. And we appreciate, because that's where we want to get our listens from. But if you, happen to watch the video, you'll see big tits, like right above fucking Robles. And it's like, this looks like a fucking early 2000s video. And like, who the fuck comes up with this stupid ass shit? Like, but there you go, anime titties. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe hearing this, you'll fucking be like, oh, maybe I'll fucking subscribe to their YouTube, Maybe I will fucking like interact. To the YouTube. Interact with us, motherfuckers.
You get to see titties.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking listen to the episodes 3 times. Fuck it. Listen on Spotify, Apple, wherever the fuck you want to listen to, and then go ahead and watch the video and listen to it again. But in video, and you're using your brain. Your brain is literally accessing like random fucking wavelengths, and your brain, your eyeball processes that, it handles that through fucking human fucking brain.
That's another thing I don't understand. Like fucking, like, we record this right now and we upload it.
Yeah.
And that person, whoever watches this or listens to it. How does the device know how to mimic our voice into this device and fucking like send it
into the air?
Into the fucking air in the cloud. What the fuck is the cloud? Like,
what the fuck? Dude, imagine that, like low key, or high key. No, high key. Imagine that the cloud is literally it's a cloud.
It's just it's
a literal cloud. Like how that cloud has been there like 365, like 24/7. That cloud never I wonder what that... And it's like the cloud.
It's the cloud.
It's just a fucking cloud hovering over the fucking earth that never leaves. If you're listening and you just listen to that part and you have a cloud that never leaves and is always there, be suspicious of it.
Yeah. Watch it cautiously.
You never know what's really out there. But, all right, so I remembered... I finally remembered what I was gonna tell you. Nightmares, and how like we don't necessarily experience everything that we literally witness. And I don't know if like throughout your couple days of researching the dreams and all that. Yeah. So I suffer from nightmares, right? Yeah. And it has to do with like my anxiety and my depression and like all that. But I've been listening to this podcast, which is a really great podcast. It's called Confidently Insecure. It's run by a woman. It's a very feminist-y type podcast. But like, fuck it, like I'm a feminist. Like fucking like dude, like I don't. It's a right. So anyway, I listened to like maybe 3 or 4 of her episodes from like May, and because of May was Mental Health Awareness Month, she primarily focused her episodes on that. And just like us, she does like an episode a week, kind of thing. And listening to her episodes and how she like brought on because she'll not every episode is just her, right? Some of them are just her, but it's not like you and I are part of the podcast. It's literally just her, or she'll bring other people on. So she met these psychiatrists or psychologists and other people via the interwebs. Some of them through like TikTok, and they connected, and they were talking about each of their own like disorders and like mental like things and like bipolar manias. And all those sorts, right?
Yeah.
And listening to them, it made me really think about, and I don't know if you've probably maybe have thought about it before, like being misdiagnosed.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, I have general anxiety disorder, which a disorder doesn't mean that you are not. You're like okay, having a disorder doesn't mean that you're not an intellectual or have the ability to be smart or have the ability to process information. It's a disorder, mental like disorder such as like anxiety or panic disorder or PTSD or fucking depression or bipolar just means that your brain or ADHD is your brain is just wired differently and it handles things differently. That doesn't have to do with your intelligence. But given that, yeah, it's like I have anxiety all the time. It's just like at a different level throughout different things, and like throughout like therapy and practice and coping, like you learn to handle it and you learn to deal with it. But this woman and like these people, like the majority of them, you'd be surprised that like most of them were misdiagnosed early on until like they really started talking about it, and they really found they really dove in to what is each disorder and what is each actual thing going on. And like, and going back to nightmares, because I started this statement with like talking about nightmares. It I feel like I might have some sort of like post-traumatic stress disorder, like a PTSD sort of side, and each one is different. But I'm relating that to being misdiagnosed and having this. I'm trying to if you're wondering like where am I going with all of this, it's all connecting. Like I'm connecting the dots right now. It is like, so you and your therapist and your psychiatrist, you're not with her or him or her all the time, right? They don't live your life. They don't experience what you experience. You only see how often do you see your therapist?
I see them about every 2 weeks.
Yeah, every 2 weeks. And like as of recently, my new therapist, I see her maybe like once a fucking month, or once every 2 weeks. That's not enough. That's not enough for me, at least. I need to see you. I would really need to see you like once a week, preferably, because trying to like stick a whole fucking month's worth or 2 weeks worth of information and trying to tell them how you've been, what's going on, what's changed, what hasn't changed. They're gonna try to take your word for it and then try to like process it the way that they've been trained, right? But not to like self-diagnose yourself, but if you were as trained as they were, I feel like you might be able to come up with a different diagnosis. I feel like, having listened to these things, that I might like. I'm not self-diagnosing myself. I'm pretty sure I don't have bipolar. I'm not bipolar, but I found out that there's 2 types of bipolar. Bipolar 1, literally, like 1 and 2. Bipolar 1 and 2. I forgot what bipolar 1 was, but bipolar 2 is more so along the sides of relating with depression. And then having listened to their stories and how some of them are, or one of them was that, I was like, wait a minute. What if I have this? Like it kind of clicks. It started to make sense. But then then I was listening, and it made me think of you, because you early on were diagnosed as a kid with ADHD, right?
No, I never saw a psychologist. I never saw a therapist. I never saw anything.
So when were you diagnosed with ADHD?
I never was.
So, okay, that's surprising. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Now I'm kind of surprised. I thought you told me one time that at one point you were taking medication for ADHD.
I mean, I was taking it, but I wasn't diagnosed with it. If you catch if you picking up what I'm putting
Well,
down.
I mean, the past is the past. Like,
Yeah.
if you're not comfortable talking with that, that's fine. But
I
like,
mean, yeah,
so you were taking medication
I was
for
taking
that?
Adderall.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I mean, dude, fucking, what do you call it? Fucking doctors, fucking people going through med school, fucking fucking do cocaine just to get through the day. Like, yeah, fuck Adderall. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, I have yet to try it, but I've wondered what it'd be like. I mean, I've done fucking like, this and that. It's not to like.
For me, it was a very calming situation.
Yeah, and it's there's a stigma amongst taking Adderall and like because people like, oh no, he's fucking taking Adderall, he's probably just a fucking junkie that likes the high.
Mm-hmm.
But for people that have ADHD, it's not about the high. It's about more of a normalization and more so a neutrality, a neutralness of feeling good and feeling control and feeling like you're sober, like your brain is sober.
Yeah.
Is that how it felt?
For me, the first time I took Adderall, it felt, I don't know, like people were around me were just fucking like going crazy, like, oh yeah, I'm on fucking Adderall, like, oh, I feel so fucking like focused and everything and all this, and me over here, I'm just like, dude, I don't feel hyperactive. I just feel fucking calm.
Like this shit shit setting me off.
This shit busting, bro. Like I don't,
This shit busting.
I don't know what y'all are going through, but I'm feeling great right now. I don't know, like
and that's one of like the telltale signs of like ADHD. And like having known you, like you like I don't gotta be a psychiatrist or psychologist to like tell, like, bro, like you have this, and that's why I'm saying, like, you are, if you haven't been diagnosed this and they're categorizing this with like something else, ADHD as a matter of fact, and I will probably be putting like a trigger warning at the like in the description of this episode, because whenever we talk about mental health, there's always got to be like a disclaimer. So if this, if any of this, even like talking about the brain is a lot, just bear with us, because both of us kind of deal with shit. Both of us got shit going on too as well. But ADHD has to do with a fuck ton of people, and like, you'd be surprised how many people are misdiagnosed, and like your anxiety might be caused or might be stemming from your ADHD, or your depression is a side effect of your ADHD, or your panic disorder stems from your ADHD in your situation. Like it's so broad, and there used to be ADD, attentive
deficit disorder,
which is no longer a thing. It's been like dubbed out, and now it's more ADHD. It's ADHD, and then there's subclasses to that. So if I guess where the fuck I'm going with this is that if you ever feel like you've ever been like misdiagnosed, if you feel like you've gone through a lot of shit and then your therapist doesn't know a lot because you don't tell them enough, like, put it out there, like. I feel like part of me might have like something, and not to be like, oh, I probably have this and that and this and that and fucking thinking I have everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, like, legitimately, I feel like there's more to me than just this, or my depression like has like stems and is triggered by a different disorder. It's not just like bread and butter. It's not like black and white. It's I feel like, yeah, general anxiety is, you have you have anxiety. It's like it's all there, and like things stem from anxiety, and you might feel this way because of your anxiety. But I feel like something else is there, because I've been keeping track of my brain as we are talking about, since Tuesday, 3 days ago, or since Monday. And before that day, I was in a good wave of goodness. And since then, I don't know if you've noticed that I've been like kind of suppressed or like retracted or like, staying away or not talkative or not always in the great mood, And today and yesterday, like I purposely try to be in a good fucking mood.
Mm-hmm.
But as much as I tried, there was like this other like this higher sense of me that's like, nah, fam, like you ain't gonna be happy today. Like we don't know when you're gonna be happy, but it's not today. It could be tomorrow, but it's not today. And like I was like, maybe it's a caffeine withdrawal. I've had caffeine, You and I have caffeine all the time.
I have caffeine every single day, which is probably not good, but still.
Yeah, so when I don't have caffeine, I might like, have a headache or some bullshit. So I'm like, okay, it's not the caffeine. If I've had caffeine, maybe it's fucking food. Maybe I haven't ate, so I'll eat, and it's not that. Maybe it's liquor. Maybe it's alcohol. Maybe no, it's not that. It's not. It's. I've minimized it down to something else. It's got to be something else. And sure, if the professional authors and like it's your fucking anxiety and your fucking thing and you're overthinking. What if it's bipolar? What if it's ADHD? What if it's blah blah blah? And it's just crazy to fucking think about.
It's basically brain go burp.
Yeah. The brain is one of the most complex things, and it's one of the hardest things to like really diagnose when it comes to mental health.
Yeah, like we said before, the brain is very complex. It's a very fucking convoluted fucking. I don't want to say ideology, but it's not ideology. It's
okay. I was like, what do you mean?
What I was gonna say, I'm trying to find the word. It's a puzzle. It's a very complex fucking jigsaw puzzle that many people try and fucking break down into very tiny little pieces, but in reality it's fucking hard, it's the brain we're talking about. It's basically one brain talking to another fucking brain, telling this brain like, hey, you got this going on with your brain, like, oh no, well, I don't know.
Oh, you mean like people?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, dude, if you think about it that way, it's literally a brain and a conscious in the flesh talking to another brain like, hey bro, like you ain't like you. You're not like me, bro. But you got some shit going on, and I don't know if you're familiar with the phrase. Intimacy.
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 Intimacy is very important.
See, I was on a good roll until you brought up like intimacy. Now I'm back. Like now I'm at a 5.
What's going on with you, bro?
I was at a 1. Like I went from an 8 earlier. You know how I said I was an 8. I went back down to a 1. Like I was fucking like.
Is intimacy important for you in a relationship?
We'll get to that in a second after I finish this. Okay. I just need to say a statement. And you guys can quote me on this. And if you guys have not heard this quote, intelligence does not become intelligence. Or sorry. I'm gonna paraphrase it in my own fucking words. All right? Information is not intelligence until it is utilized, until it is worked on. Just because you know a thing or fucking like are educated, being educated does not mean you're smart. Being educated just means you've gone through an education and gone through a program, gone through a set of things of learning fucking curriculum. Educated does not make you smart. Being smart is being an intellectual, and being intellectual is being able to utilize all the information that you know and put it into work. Being able to process your information that you have and make it intelligence. Intelligence is information that is processed. Now, is intimacy important to me? Like you asked, I feel like it's one of the most important things in life, and I'm a hopeless romantic, is what I was gonna say. What I am saying, I am a hopeless romantic, and by that I mean like my brain says that like, hey man, like, you know the heart down there in fucking level 4. You know, I took the escalator the other day and I was talking to the heart. You know, having a brain to heart conversation one on one, and the heart was telling me that intimacy is a thing, and that you've gone through trauma, and I was just like, yeah, and like that's my subconscious talking to my consciousness, talking to my subconsciousness, because there's your consciousness, then there is your subconsciousness, and then there's a fucking lower level, and then there's just unconscious. But yeah, no, fucking, I was losing track. No, yeah, intimacy is very important to me. It's yeah. Like I can being intimate does not mean being sexual. I feel like a lot of people, for the majority, I feel like the majority of people get that mistaken. Being like, hey, I just had a very intimate moment with my roommate, like, and people would be like, whoa, what'd you guys do? Did you guys fucking rub it out, fucking fuck each other in the fucking bum? I'm like, no, bro, we just had a deep talk and, you know, fucking had a cigar, a glass of whiskey, and fucking like, then we jerked each other off. But like, no, no, I'm just kidding. But no, like, being intimate does not mean being sexual. Like, being intimate just means being like vulnerable, being open, and sharing things that you wouldn't normally share with someone that you actually care about. Is how I feel.
The way that I visualize, because for me, I don't know if it's something that my fucking brain is fucking creating up in its head, but with me,
that's your brain telling itself that.
Yeah, I know, it's weird. We're talking about brains today, but fucking, for me, whenever I think about words or think about fucking certain things, if you want to imagine, if you listen to the podcast, what my brain goes through is just blackness. And whenever I think of a certain word and I try and make it make sense to me, is I try to visualize it in colors and vibrations. And intimacy to me means basically when one string of a certain color, say for example red, and a polar opposite of another string of another color, like say for example blue, come together in different swirls and very different situations and very different waves, you know. On the red side,
bro, this sounds like a fucking acid trip.
For those of you who don't know, I've dropped a lot of acid, but let me explain it to you. Intimacy to me, the red side is very zigzaggy. It's very erratic. It doesn't know where to go, but it knows the sense of direction. It just doesn't know really how to get there in a certain way.
So the red side is the unorganized, chaotic side.
Exactly. And the blue side is a very calm and wavy side. And these are very two different waves, different lines that are going through in life. But somehow
opposites.
These two opposites come together in one way, and they start to swirl together, and they start to connect. And even though one side is erratic and the other side is very calm, they start to create art. They start to create this explosion of this I don't know how to explain it. It's like when they mix, it's like music. It's like you can feel the bass drum just beating. You can hear the choir, and you can feel the color. You can feel the different shapes that it's creating. It's creating shapes that you never even knew that were imaginable. and it's just creating these different waves, these different lines, these different things that you've never seen before. And to me, that's what intimacy is. It's when two different passages, two different things from two different places, from different sides of the world, just come together and actually put together their differences and create art. And to me, that's what intimacy is. And I don't know if like anyone else out there,
I doubt it.
like
if you're gonna say if anyone else thinks that way, no, it's your own very fucking unique way of telling it. And it's a very, very, very way out there, kind of unique. I've never heard anyone describe it that way. It really sounds like a moment of euphoria, and it really sounds like a moment of adventure, and a moment of chaos, or organized chaos for that matter. And the chaos is not organized until it meets a set of calmness. And it's where the storm meets calm, and in that intense danger of intimate chemistry lies beauty. I totally understand what how you describe that, and that's a very deep description of how you feel about intimacy. Do you feel that it has anything to do with sexuality and sexual prowess?
So, when you bring sexuality into it, I mean, sexuality...
Not sexual identity, but more so like sexual prowess and sexual like feelings.
Yeah, I understand what you meant. Like, well, sexuality and like being sexual with that person does mean a lot, especially within a very early setting, because when you first start to have like these sexual attractions with this person, it's different. It's like a lot of people say like there's no you can't compare to the first time.
I've heard that, and I've also heard like you can't be intimate, or you can't have sex without the intimacy, but you can have sex without the intimacy, and you can't be intimate without the sex.
Like to me, like I've always thought that having sex and making love are two very different things.
Yeah, because you and I have never had sex. I'm just saying, like I feel very intimate with you, but I've never fucked you, and you've never fucked me, and like it'll never be a thing. But I feel like our relationship together, because it is a type of relationship, is an intimate one.
Yeah, but like when it comes to like having sex and making love, it's a very different thing. Now, going back to the whole swirls and the colors that I was talking about, now you're adding...
Is your description of that only for a partner sort of thing?
It doesn't have to be a partner.
So it also can be for the...
It can be for anything.
What's the word? When you're not sexual with a person, platonic. So that can be.
It can be with a platonic.
Okay, so your description of that also includes platonacy, if that's a word.
Yeah, it could definitely mean that. So when I think of being platonic with someone, I think of... I'm gonna have to close my eyes for this, but whenever I think of being platonic with someone, I think of me being myself. I think of myself as this, and I know it's gonna sound stupid, but I think of myself as this fucking triangle. All right, now hear me out.
So when you think of platonicness, you think of a triangle.
For myself.
So you are the triangle.
Yes, and I am this triangle just floating within a deep space of just blackness.
Okay.
And then out of nowhere, I see this other person who is a square. And I know it sounds fucking like it sounds stupid.
Triangle meets square.
Now, these are very two different shapes. These are very two different.
I just gotta let you know I failed geometry twice.
It's all right. I'm gonna walk you through
Or
it.
once, but I took it twice.
So there's this triangle and this square that are just floating within the abyss of nothingness, and they both meet.
Yeah.
And every time that they move within this space, they leave trails. They leave trails of what they once were. So this triangle is leaving bits of triangles behind it, and the square is leaving squares behind it. And these two meet, and they start to swirl around each other, kind of like they have this gravitational force that are just pulling each other towards and closer and closer and closer. And then once they finally collide, it creates this different angles and these different structures, and they create unity. And it's very complex, all these different angles, all these different shapes that they've created, but somehow it's structurally sound. It's structurally able to...
The collision of these shapes is structurally sound?
Yes. It's able to actually withstand everything. And that's what I think of whenever I think of a platonic relationship with someone. I think that while this one person and this other person may be from two different worlds, they come together and then they create this bond, this structurally sound bond, that at first glance may not seem like it's a lot, but it's a lot. It holds a foundation of what these two will create. It will hold this tall tower of memories, and each floor is just a different image of their past, their present, and their future. And it's great. And you will always remember it, and it will always tower above you as this image.
Right.
Even when those times pass, it will always cast a shadow upon your life, but not a negative shadow, more or less a positive outlook.
You're still talking about platonic.
Yes.
Okay.
And it creates this very long shadow of memories, and this long shadow of intimacy, basically. And it creates this bond. And I know it's weird the way that I fucking think, but this is how I literally think. I don't know if it's I need to fucking contact like a very professional psychologist about all this shit, but like, if for some reason a fucking like professional psychologist who has a bunch more fucking degrees than I do can
you know
describe...
actually my friend Christian back home, I've mentioned him, and so yeah, I feel like the name should ring a bell to you. His sister is a licensed therapist, albeit though she is a marriage and family therapist, whatever, and that's her specialty, and that's what she focuses on in her private practice. But I have been thinking about, especially, after, given that the fact that I'm leaving the fucking army like we are, that once I go back home, I'll be very close to them, like, physically speaking, miles wise, not like, you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But, I will have the ability to be like, hey, can I put you on the podcast? Can I ask you these questions? But, let me step back a bit. What I was going to say is that, like, I was thinking about messaging her and telling her, like, hey, like, asking her that. But now that now that we have talked about this episode, I wanna send her this specific episode and be like, hey, listen to this. What do you think, and what are your professional opinions and statements and all that, and then, like, what do you actually think about the podcast, and then would you want to be on it later on in the future when I actually get back home? But I've known you for so long, and sometimes I feel like I feel like I just said the same thing twice. What I was gonna say is, like, sometimes I feel like I have known you for a fucking fuck ton of time now. And I feel like sometimes our fucking brain waves, our brain waves, sync up to a certain point, and we literally think the same fucking thing, or are literally like doing the same thing, and it's weird to think about because there are synchronicities, and there is a theory of synchronicity. You might be thinking about not conspiracies, coincidences. Conspiracy would lead it to a whole different thing.
Episode 1, season 1.
Bigfoot, aliens, and buttholes. That's what you want to hear about. If you haven't heard episode 1, well then I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. But no, there is a theory of synchronicities, and when you start to see certain numbers over and over, they start to give you a certain meaning to them. There are angel numbers, demon numbers. There are signs that you want to like. If you are a very spiritual person, and like these like the more you pay attention to them, the more power you literally give these thoughts and upbringings, the more they have an impact on your life. Kind of like I am, like, kind of in a sense of manifesting your own world. Excuse me. What you think is, if you ask, you shall receive, kind of thing. And if you are with a person for such a long time, a lame fucking, not lame, but yeah, a lame metaphor or fucking like, kind of similarity would be like women that are living together, their periods start to sync up. Well, in a sense, people that are often together and have the same sense of humor, same sense of intellectual ability, and relate a lot, you will start to notice that their brains and you can say their brain waves link up to a certain extent where you will say things that you thought you have said before, but you literally haven't. You will have thoughts at the same time. You will be thinking, I could be in my room and you can be in your room, and our brains will sync up somehow. And that goes into the quantum realm, because there is a thing called the string theory. How we can connect and are interconnected like the internet, but through the quantum realm of like particles. We are connected with certain brains and certain people to a certain extent that we are in sync. And like, it's fucking trippy because I have seen certain very not like huge fucking synchronicities, but minor ones. Like every morning, there's one guy, like literally, like if I decide to go to work an hour fucking early, or no, if I decide to leave the barracks an hour early, and I'm gonna go get food or some shit, I see the same guy walking out the building at the same time, at the same place. If like he is already almost at his car, as I am getting out of the building. That every time, it doesn't matter if I'm an hour early and not like a couple minutes late, perfectly on time, whatever the fuck I'm doing. If it's somehow like I'm gonna go to the gym after work, I am paying more attention to it, so I am giving it more power. Therefore, I am in a way unintentionally, subconsciously, somehow manifesting it more. Your brain starts to notice these synchronicities more, so therefore you give it more potential to connect. And given that, I've been seeing this person more and more at the same time in these same scenarios. I'll go to work, I'll see this person, same time, same distance, same place. I'm off of work, I'm going somewhere else, same person, same distance, same place. It's crazy the things that are in reality. And you can fucking connect it to the conspiracy of being in a simulation. I don't know. What do you think?
I feel like we need to drop acid.
I mean, the way you're describing your other fucking intimacy thing, it was literally an acid trip. It was giving me flashbacks.
I feel like whenever I'm high, before the army,
Yeah.
I feel like
huge disclaimer.
huge disclaimer, since I'm still in the army. But I feel like whenever I was high, I always tend to like try and get into like the different meanings of what's going on, and
what do you mean? The different meanings of what?
Of anything.
So you try to like figure out everything. What does this mean? What does that mean?
Literally,
what does this mean?
Literally the fucking like solution of everything.
There's a pigeon that flew right by me. What does that mean? Kind of thing. Like literally everything.
Yeah, about how the complexities of different things that are going on around me and why they happen, and like the chaos theory and the fucking like the different theories of what's going on and why things are happening and like all these things, and like why I'm sitting here, why I'm breathing a certain way, why I'm fucking like why am I here, you know, like
Just why?
yeah, just basic, just why, you know, like why are there titties here?
How there's literally a green sheet, but the way you're watching it, you see anime titties.
Yeah,
like the way, like it is like yeah, I mean, like it is. Excuse you, goddamn.
Excuse me. Yeah, I've been drinking for a very long time right now.
How, on a scale of 1 to 10, are you drunk? 1 being sober and 0 on a scale of 0 to 10. 0 being sober and 10 being completely blackout wasted.
7.5.
7.5?
Yeah. I'm getting close to that.
That's pretty high, given that a 10 is blackout wasted.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking like blackout wasted is.
So you're pretty fucking drunk.
Yeah, I'm drunk right now. But anytime I'm drunk or high, like I try and fucking like go into the different complexities and the different things and why we are who we are and why we do what we do, and it's, I don't know. I feel like every time that I've gotten non-sober, I've tried to do that.
Gotten non-sober?
Yeah, I've gotten non-sober.
Hey, bro, hey, what do you... Hey, man. Hey, friend. Hey, brother.
Hey, bro, why? What do you think about the fucking universe right now, bro?
Like, fuck. Oh, fuck. After saying that, now I forgot what I was gonna say. I was saying that as a joke, and now, when you fucking, when you want to get non-sober tonight.
Yeah, when I get non-sober.
you want to cut that off, and speaking about sobriety and how since we're on the brain and all that, my subtopic that I was gonna talk about is completely irrelevant. If you guys wanted to know about what my mini segment was, because I was pretty into the dream segment of today's episode. My mini add-on to that I was gonna because we always fucking have a we're gonna fucking step off and now we're talking about assholes and food and fucking dinosaurs, when we were originally talking about like fucking cars and engineering and fucking killers. Well, like that subtopic that I was gonna mention, which I'm now mentioning.
John McAfee didn't kill himself.
It's John McAfee. There's no coffee in there.
I don't know.
The way you pronounce it is weird because it's literally MC. It's the capital M, lowercase c, capital A. So McAfee.
I don't know, man. I mean, I
John
know
McAfee.
he made the program McCafe.
It's not McCafe. It's
McCafe.
literally spelled like his
There's
last
literally
name.
a coffee cup on it.
No, it's not.
There's a coffee cup on the fucking logo. McCafe.
I'm sorry, but if you are one of the people that call it McCafe, you are...
GIF or GIF?
GIF.
There you go. All right, cool. We're on the same.
If you call a GIF a GIF, like if you the GIF word, if you say that as GIF, you're a fucking Neanderthal. I'm sorry. Like if you say meme as Mimi, you're a fucking Neanderthal. I don't care what the fuck you think. You're fucking stupid. But no. What was I gonna say? The subtopic that I was gonna rant on as like a purposeful sideways topic is like the thought of what if the LGBTQ community was purposely made by the straight people. And by that I mean, what if it is a conspiracy, and what if it is a cult? Not that it is my thought, just that if you look up into what I'm saying and if you like look it up, you will hear people's opinions thinking this sort of shit. So, what if being gay was contagious? What if? What do you think, Robles?
I hope we make this a clip.
This will probably be a clip on the Instagram, but no, like, what if being gay was contagious? I know that in the early on, before it was very mainstream, it was frowned upon, right? Now it's very open. Like I have gay friends. I'm very supportive of the LGBTQ. June was Pride Month, right? And this is July 1st. This is now July 1st. So happy Pride Month, and now is July 1st. So now we forget about it? No, we don't. But I'm just saying, we as Dudes vs. Nerds support the LGBTQI plus community. But what if the thought and the thought process of way back when, decades ago, was true, as they thought it might have been contagious? What if being gay was contagious? How would you feel if that was reality? You know, given that you are somewhat part of that community, even though you lean towards more side the straight, but you have like bi tendencies. How would you feel given, like, if you were like, oh shit, I contracted this?
I mean, I feel like if it was a disease.
No, not disease. Like not
a virus.
Not even a virus. Because that just gives it a whole other fucking thing. What if it was just a sense of being? Call it that. Not a virus, not a disease, but a sense of being.
No, I mean, I feel like fear is going to run through the streets, and I don't know. I feel like people will be terrified.
You think so?
Yeah, because there's a lot of like religious cults and everything fucking who are like, oh no, don't fucking touch me with the gay fucking
You goddamn with the pudding and the fucking don't touch me with the gay.
Speaking
of pudding,
yeah,
fucking Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby's out of jail now.
If you're listening, literally tonight, somehow, if you catch us on Thursday, the July 1st, speaking of June, a day ago or 2 days ago?
Yeah,
2 days ago. No, a day ago. A day ago. Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Bill Cosby is now free.
Mark my words, and I said this to Jesus.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Bill Cosby is going to get murked.
You think so?
I really think so.
I highly doubt it.
I feel
Given
like he's going to fucking die. I feel like someone is going to find him, find his location, and just fucking kill him.
No.
And I don't, I mean, obviously I don't wish that upon him. I don't wish that upon anybody, but I feel like someone is going to find his location. Someone's going to fucking find him for what he did. And you know what? Be your own fucking researcher. Fucking research what he did and what he was, you know, like accused of. But, you know, I feel like someone's going to fucking find him and they're going to fucking kill him. And it's, I don't know.
So my thought on that, because, you know, when you... Goddamn.
Ghost.
When you did mention that yesterday, I thought about the possibility, and then I narrowed it down to like reality. Realistically, I'm not gonna say what he did was a good thing. What he did literally was, you know, horrible. You know, especially, you know, having drugged women and then having them put into like sexual acts. He was sexually assaulting women or sexually assaulted women and drugged them and, you know, allegedly raped them and then probably did realistically rape them. But given that I look at the whole fucking picture, you know, there's yin and yang. There's yin and yang to this. And I don't know if you will agree to this. Because of what he did, it led to a lot of good things. He was one of the what's the word when you cataracts, not cataract, catalyzers, no, what's the word catalyzers, when you catalyze, no, fucking it's not a cataract, when something leads to something else. Well, whatever the fucking word is, you know what the if you're listening, you know what the fucking word is, all right? It starts with a C, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, what he did was that word. Can't think of it right now. But a catalyst. There you go. It was a catalyst. He was a catalyst to the sexual abuse community, I guess. I'm an advocate for like sexual assault victims. So I don't know if calling it a community is like the right word for it. But think of if I'm just trying to make sure that this gets heard the right way. Without the bad, there wouldn't be the good. Without the extreme bad, there wouldn't be radical changes. And you know that. Especially in this country, nothing really changes unless there's something huge that fucking happens. Or unless that one thing has been happening for such a long time. Would you agree?
I would agree.
So, given that, you know, he was one of the catalysts that led to a lot of reform and change and positivity in the good side of things, in the Jedi world of humans, you know? But, you know, I'm not exactly the happiest that he's out now. You know, I don't know if he's a changed man. I'm not supporting the guy. I'm not defending him in any sort of way. As a matter of fact, like, I am actually, like, kind of pretty upset that, you know, like, some person like this, you know, if you fuck up the lives of, I think it was like 60 plus women, or there was a definite 6 in there, and I think it was in the definite tens of it. You don't deserve to be like just freely released the way he was, and I don't know. It's like R. Kelly. There's so many memes between like R. Kelly.
You're gonna say R. Kelly?
Like I saw memes between R. Kelly and people are making fun of the situation, but I feel like that's just because there's a lot of desensitization amongst these sort of things, and I don't know. It's just pretty fucked up. It's kind of wrong. But I don't hope that he gets fucking murdered. I don't hope that he does, and I doubt that he will be murdered. I doubt that people will be able to access him, especially given the fact that he's pretty up there and has money. He's pretty well known, and if he has a fear of people wanting to kill him, he can go into fucking protection, and that's just how the government works. The government in this country will protect the worst of the worst, just so that person doesn't die, just so that one person doesn't get murdered. We hold murder to like one of the biggest extents that we will protect like the worst of the worst.
Yeah, I mean that's usually how it is.
And that's how our fucking brain works. Yeah. Our brain says we should keep this brain alive. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean we're gonna. Well, when I say we, I mean the U.S. government, but they usually protect the most. I don't want to say specialized, but the most fucking important.
The high class.
Yeah,
the
high. The high class are never going to be touched.
No, not the high class. The white collar. The biggest of the biggest. I guess you could call them.
They're never going to be touched.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. But
what are we on right now? What minute are we on?
We are at 92 minutes, which is an hour and a half.
An hour and a half of this episode. Yeah. Oh, interesting. I'm thinking about cutting this into 2 pieces, but I think we'll call this another Megasode.
Yeah.
Part of the Mega series.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's just a fucking word to call it for an extra long episode. If you guys are wondering for the cults, how we named it the Cult series, that's an actual thing, because maybe not so much so on the podcast platforms that you are primarily only listening on, but more so on the video version of things. We can separate them by viewership, I guess, in playlists. We can't do that much so on Spotify, Apple, and Captivate, Google, and every other platform. But it's a good way to separate them, and it's a good way if you're trying to search up a specific episode. It's a good way to look them up. Mega series, I guess, Megasodes. If they're not split up, you can, I guess, look them up this way, because we're obviously over an hour and a half now at this point. Robles, if you are watching this on YouTube or Instagram or any of the video versions, if this is clipped or not, you can tell that this guy is drunk.
I am very drunk right now.
Now on a scale of 1 to 10, how drunk are you?
I'm like at an 8.
Close
to
increase by 0.5.
8 to 8.5, dude. Like I'm close to goner.
You can tell by the gray scale of his video. Oh God! Excuse me. Yeah. No, I'm pretty up there. Yeah. Myself.
I'm hungry.
But if you made it this far, if you made it this far, we thank you.
I want McDonald's.
We will get food in a second after this podcast, but we are making our outro, as always,
As always, I am your host.
We are your host.
We are.
He is one of your hosts.
we are your hosts.
No, go ahead and say your part. Say it as if you're start. Say it as if you are doing it.
What is up, guys? This.
Go ahead. You're good. You're doing good.
I am one of your hosts.
Why do you change your voice like that? Speak like you would normally. Stop trying to seduce the fucking listeners.
I want to seduce the listeners.
You've had this lower I'm gonna talk like this the whole way. I'm gonna have this echo. You don't usually talk like this.
I actually do talk like this.
You don't usually talk like that. Well, usually when you talk like this is because you're being very serious or you're very drunk. But I'm just going to go ahead. Why don't you go tell the hell of the listeners? Go ahead.
I am one of your hosts, Rudy Robles, and that's the other host, Jesus Perez.
Yes. We have been your hosts. Jesus Perez, Rudy Robles, Rudolfo Robles for sure, for long, and Jesus Perez over here. The two beans, the rice and the beans, the black beans and the Mexican rice. Mm-hmm. You can't have them without having one or the other. You gotta have them both.
Follow me on Twitter.
And do not.
I now use Twitter.
We've always been on Twitter, but a lot of podcasts stay away from Twitter, I've seen, because, Twitter in general, if you use Twitter, you fucking know that it is very toxic. It's a very toxic platform. And I don't know if Twitter as a whole, the people at Twitter admin headquarters, you guys, I don't know what you guys are doing, but like...
Elon Musk follows me.
No, he doesn't.
He likes my tweets.
Has he?
No. Okay. But you know what? I'm getting.
You know what? Eventually he will.
Yeah.
You know what? We're manifesting it with our brains.
Yeah.
Let's say it together. Elon Musk will follow our posts. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Elon Musk will follow me.
Our posts.
He will follow me.
Okay.
I only have like 11 followers
on Twitter. I honestly, on my Twitter, I only have like maybe 60 or 80, but that's like literally nothing. Just because it's nothing. Yeah. It's nothing. Like I'm talking to myself on Twitter. Like,
but I literally post like weird. So I post like literally what my thoughts are going through now. And honestly, like, Twitter is great because I can literally just post, I'm thinking of something stupid right now. I'm going to post the fucking tweet.
You know what that was called maybe not long ago? Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what? Facebook, people really hate on Facebook nowadays, but Facebook is still the number one leading platform.
Facebook number one.
Facebook number one. It is all over the world, and people mainly. I don't know why I don't know why I fucking do it. It always happens. But no, if you're hating on Facebook, that it's your loss. If you're a business or fucking whatever the fuck trying to get more engagement, that is your loss. We probably need more engagement on Facebook. Just saying. Yeah. But no, if you got Twitter, it's Perez Almighty for me. And for fucking Rudy over here, what is it? Well, anyway, if it's for Instagram, it's a DVE podcast. For Facebook, it's Dudes versus Everything. Let me finish this now that you're waiting. For Reddit, it's also Dudes versus Everything. For the TikTok, it's also Dudes versus Everything. And what else are we on? We're not on Snapchat. We don't need fucking Snapchat. We're not on Twitter. But our Twitter's Perez Almighty. That is my also Instagram, Perez Almighty. His Twitter is...
the Rudy Robles.
The Rudy Robles, which is also his Instagram. Our Patreon is DVE. So patreon.com/DVE. It's Dude versus Everything. Our podcast. If you are literally, if you happen to buy our merch and happen to buy our stuff, I know I haven't like sent you any money for that one purchase or two purchases, just because I paid you what, like almost $200 in fucking Cardano. But no. Just know that if you do happen to enjoy our content so much so that you want to be a part of the community and wear it and rep our merch and you buy our merch, that is supporting the cost of upholding the marketing and upholding the website. If you want to support us directly and have that go towards only like us, well, not us, but the podcast itself, it is on our Patreon. Follow our Patreon or go through our website, dudesversuseverything.com, and then click on the link, support the show, and then that'll be able to give you a way to either send a one-time payment or a monthly payment or recurring payment through our PayPal. And either way, if you don't, it's fine. We are still new, but eventually, at one point, I think Rudy will, even though he's fucking acting up right now, can agree with me that eventually we want to make this one of our biggest flows of income. Because I mean, we're not rich. We're very broke, and I don't say poor because there's a difference between being poor and being broke. Look it up if you don't know.
Being poor is a mindset. You know what? Being poor is a fucking mindset. If you don't have a lot of money right now, you are just broke. You are not poor. You can still rise up because you know what? The only way to go when you hit rock bottom is up. So you know what? You are not poor. You're in a wrong place at the wrong time right now. But you know what? You can become rich. You can become great. And I know you can. So you know what? You are not poor. Being poor is a fucking mindset. It's a mindset that eats at a lot of people. And you are not poor. You don't have to be poor. Look at these titties. Look at these titties right here. You think I can afford these titties? No. Not right now. Because I'm broke.
Yeah. We are very broke. If you think that our podcasting software is cheap or free or any of the sorts, you are very mistaken. We have invested, me specifically, I have invested probably at this point in time that you are listening, a couple $1,000s into this podcast, given that the equipment on my end was at least more than $1,100, maybe $1,400, including the software. And then you got to add in the marketing, make sure that, we are seeing. So it might be, if you're on Instagram and this is your first time listening and you listen to this post, this far off, and you're listening to this specifically right now at this very second, they're not advertisements. They're more so promotions because we need to get our fucking podcast seen. They're not ads. They're promotions. And if you are following us, we would very much appreciate if you would, like, comment, especially share. And if you don't share, at least click that save button on Instagram. Click that save button. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't even add to your data. Just click the save button. We're trying to beat the algorithm. We're trying to get out there. We're trying to grow our podcast. Our next checkpoint and challenge is reach 500 followers. If we can do that organically, that would be the best, And we record on our computer, or on my computer, I should say, at the same time that we record our audio. If we can grow our YouTube audience by, gaining subscribers, that would be great. Our TikTok, that's just a fucking another platform. That's just, if you're on TikTok, fucking, I don't know, like it, I guess, follow. It doesn't fucking matter. TikTok is there. This has been us. This has been us. Thank you guys for listening. Robles has had his fair share of everything, has had his fair share of alcohol and thoughts. We've
Thoughts.
which kind of thoughts?
Those thoughts.
If you know, you know.
You know. I'm drunk.
He is drunk. Yeah.
And I am hungry.
And he is hungry.
Yeah.
So given that, I want to say thank you. Even though we have no Patreon followers yet, this is the point where we would shout you out. If you are on our Patreon, we would shout you out specifically. And if you request not to, we wouldn't if you're just that shy. But if you really want to, support us, seriously, give us, a chance to subscribe to our Patreon. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you all. Good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon.
And good night.
And stay tuned till next time. And we love you. We love you. We thank you.
We love you consensually.
consensually, platonically.
Platonically.
Some of you sexually, you know.
Some of you.
Some of you. Very, very, very few of you.
Some of you.
Some of yeah. You might not know it, but it doesn't matter because we won't tell you.
You know who you are.
You know who you are. Exactly. Yeah.
That's why I talk in a very deep voice.
You want to be friends with mine. Yeah. You want you like this. Yeah. This is for you right here. Yeah. I thank you guys. Thank you, women, children. If you're listening, you shouldn't be, but if you are, fuck off and listen to something else like fucking Kids World. But if you are, thank you.
Kids World?
I don't fucking know. Everybody, enjoy yourself a wonderful weekend. Have a safe and wonderful 4th of July because we won't be uploading, but it'll be during the weekend because it's on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Fuck it. We might. We might just do a fucking segment. You don't ever know, because we're fucking spontaneous like that, and sometimes in real life, if you want to get into our, personal life, that's just how we are. Thank you.